Salam Alaikum wa rahmatullah wabaraktuh. So today I want to address a very prevalent topic. So can someone be considered pious if she doesn't wear the hijab? So this is a question many young people grapple with today, and I want to address this topic because many people around me, and myself included, struggled with the hijab in our early teens. And for context, I'm currently studying in university, and I see this happening all around me where girls would take off their hijab in university because it was either forced upon them when they were younger or they don't understand the true meaning of the hijab. So first, let's talk about the idea of the hijab. So what is it and why was it legislated? The word hijab actually has two meanings. Physically, it refers to covering a woman's awrah from head to toe in the way that Allah has prescribed. There's a clear evidence for this in the Quran and the Sunnah. So Allah said in Surah An-Nur,
وَقُلْ لِلْمُؤْمِنَاتِ يَغْضُضْنَ مِنْ أَبْصَارِهِنَّ وَيَحْفَظْنَ فُرُوجَهُنَّ وَلَا يُبْدِينَ زِينَتَهُنَّ.
So this verse instructs women to cover their chest and wear head covers, often interpreted as hijab. When in the presence of this verse instructs women to cover their chest and wear head covers, often interpreted as hijab. When in the presence of non-mahrams, aka people who are not from their immediate family or their close relatives. Another hadith about the hijab physically is
Aisha radiallahu anha said that when this verse was revealed, the women drew their veils over their necks and bosoms, which means that the chest area and the neck should also be covered, unlike the hijab that we often see on social media where everything is revealed. That's not the correct way of wearing the hijab physically.
But the hijab is also more than just the way that we dress. It's about how a woman carries herself and interacts with others, especially with the opposite gender. So, for example, a woman might wear the proper physical hijab, like she covers all her awrah, she covers her chest, but if she's joking around and mixing freely with men and raising her voice to do so, then she's not fully observing the behavioral aspect of the hijab. So I was listening to Dr. Haifa Yunus many months ago, and she was talking about how hijab was a choice, and I was like, what is she saying? Like, how is hijab a choice? But she explains herself. Hijab is a choice because it's your choice whether or not you want to obey Allah. Subhanallah, look at that. Allah asks you to do something, and khalas, that's the end of discussion. So like hijab, like prayer and fasting, is an act of obedience to your creator. Okay, sorry. There was some technical issues. Okay, I'm back. There was some technical issues. My phone fell off, basically. So Allah asks you to do something, and that should be the end of discussion. There's no negotiation, no nothing. So hijab, like prayer and fasting, is an act of obedience towards your creator. So hijab is hard some days. Like, obviously.
For me personally, it's an that's hard. Sometimes I wonder if I truly made the right decision, and it becomes so hard, especially if there are people in your life opposing your choice.
So at the end of the day, everyone has their own struggles, and not wearing the hijab does not negate someone's effort to be closer to Allah. However, it is one of the signs, it's a physical characteristic that can... But wearing the hijab complements your faith. So I remember when I first put on the hijab, and I was so happy that people on the street finally recognized me as one of them. I was happy when people would say salam to me, like on the streets, or smile at me because I was wearing the hijab. Especially for those of you who are living in a non-Muslim country, wearing the hijab is like a symbol of Islam, and you're representing Islam in a visible way that should be a big honor for you, because Allah chose you to come into His religion, and Allah chose you to wear the hijab. What made me put on the hijab was when I visited someone's grave, because I was thinking if I wanted my first time to be fully covered when I die, when I was wrapped in a white cloth, and like, Allahu Akbar, like that's such a crazy, it's not a crazy thought, but it's unthinkable. Like, I was shaken to my core, because I was like, no, I don't, like, what am I waiting for? What are you waiting for? You can die any day. Like, why are we postponing this act of worship? Because when you die, nothing else matters. You don't take your beauty with you, you don't take anything with you, you don't take your wealth, your children, nothing. All that's left is between you and Allah, and the good deeds and the acts of worship and the prayers and the fasting that you did for Allah. So, anyways, in my next video, inshallah, I'll talk about the conditions of the woman's hijab, because low-key, I think people's attention is like a fly nowadays. It's ruined by all the brain rotting and doom scrolling on social media platforms, astaghfirullah, and it's horrible to see that. So I was thinking of breaking the video into 2 separate chunks, so then I could retain everyone's attention. Salam Alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.